Hello students, welcome to week 3 in PRL550, our physical and social campaigns class for our MIPR program. I hope everybody's having a blessed week and everything is moving along well in your personal and academic lives. I just wanted to touch base really quickly with some things that we have going on in the class that are pertinent updates that would be of use to you all to be aware of as you're moving through the coursework this week. You do have case study number 2 due. This involves reading case 6.3, which begins on page 184 of the Hayes text. Same exact format as last week with our first case study. Go through there, create a written case study just as you did last week. After you write it, submit it to me, and then take that same exact one and post it to a discussion board and reply to 2 other students' case studies. So this format should be coming pretty familiar to you all as we are moving through the semester. The questions, things like that, aren't changing with the actual case study. You're still addressing the same questions. We're just looking at different content and a different example of a PR campaign. Now, one thing that I did want to clarify with you all, when it comes to these case studies, what the purpose of them are, what's their purpose, and why the course is approaching them in the manner that we are, is that I'm pulling them alongside your campaigns so that way you have the opportunity to start reviewing best examples, best practices of actual campaigns to kind of help get those creative juices flowing and help you really start to see examples that have worked and now are being exemplified in a textbook, so that way you can take and use some of those ideas into your own campaigns as we move forward. So that's really the point of them. And then also the second point is for you to really start to get in there and start thinking deeply and academically. So one of the main points in graduate level work is for you to start to, and I've said this a number of times throughout the semester, to construct your own ideas about what it is you want to say or what it is you think about a particular concept in public relations, which is our program. With that, you're able to then not only construct your own ideas, but defend and support those ideas in an academic sense, so that you have your own opinions and your own judgments on the field. And so case studies help you do that. Creating a campaign is great and wonderful and a practical item that you will use in some aspect when you enter the field or advance your career in the field. But a case study allows you to think analytically and start to develop your own ideas about those particular items in public relations, and then support and defend those ideas. And so you're thinking about public relations in this sense at a higher level than before. The next thing that we are working on, we're at the very end part of our physical campaign. So week 3, this week, you'll be spending time working on your tactics, implementation plan, and evaluation plan. Remember, these are drafts, and your entire and final campaign will be due in week 4. So next week I'll discuss and share with you what I'm expecting you to turn in for your final. In a nutshell, you'll take the assignments that you did for week 1, 2, and 3 and combine that into one doc that it's one actual campaign that we are going through. But for this week, you'll be working on your drafts of your tactics, implementation plan, and evaluation plan. And now in Blackboard, there's some detailed information on what exactly I'm looking for. Remember, tactics are action items that are completed in a campaign. They're the items that a PR practitioner will implement and execute within a campaign. So you're going to host a community event, or you're going to launch a television ad campaign. Those are tactics, things that you're actually doing to put to practice and try to achieve your goals and objectives. In your draft, you're required to list 3 physical tactics that you will propose in your final draft, and briefly describe the tactics and list 3 written tactics that you will also provide. So I'm looking for 3 physical tactics and 3 written tactics. So I'm looking for 6 things you're going to do in your campaign. In there for your draft, just list them and describe what they are. And then also list, I will provide these 3 written tactics. Written tactics would be press releases, brochures, flyers, something physical. We're not talking about social media or online media or any of that at this point. That you would use, that you plan to put into your final. When you actually get to your final, you need to provide detailed descriptions of each tactic. So kind of expand upon what you put on your draft, talk about how they relate to your campaign goals and rationale, and provide a rationale for their use in the campaign, along with 3 actual written tactics. So when you get to your final, at this point, you'll actually show me that here's a sample press release, here's a sample brochure. This week, just list that you will put that in there. Your implementation plan is really simple. It's a timeline that details how you'll implement your campaign day by day, week by week. You will need to set standards in terms of this campaign will launch over 6 months, 3 months, 16 weeks, 9 months, whatever it may be in your draft. But do remember the time frame that you give your campaign is the implementation. It creates the longer implementation plan. So if you create a 9-month plan, you're going to have to, in your final, list day by day what you'd be doing for 9 months. So I think a good round number would be 9 to 12 weeks is sufficient. You probably don't want to go more than 3 months. You're going to be spending a lot of time on your implementation plan. In your draft, just provide a weekly timeline for implementation in outline form, meaning give me a week by week synopsis of what you will be doing in your campaign or how you will be implementing your tactics. Week 1, we will implement tactic 1. Tactic 1 is this and this. Week 2, we will implement tactic 2. Tactic 2 is blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then in your final in week 4, you'll provide a daily plan. So in week 1, day 1, we're doing this, and so it'll get more detailed as we go on. Your evaluation plan provides a strategy for you to evaluate your campaign. Specifically, it describes how you're going to measure your goals and objectives. Are you going to do a survey? Are you going to do some focus groups? Are you going to deem attendance at an event you hold as a measurable form of determining if you met your objective or not? So you said you want to have at least 200 people attend this event. You had 300, so you exceeded your goals. In your draft, provide an outline of how you're planning on evaluating your campaign. Just telling me how you're going to evaluate it to determine if it was a success or not. And to do that, you have to look at your goals and objectives. In your final, you're going to provide a detailed plan. So evaluation of goal 1 will be with a SurveyMonkey survey. Evaluation of goal 2 will be with attendance at this event. Evaluation of goal 3 will be with such and such and such and such. And so that's just all that you need to do. In a nutshell, I'm looking for you to wrap up your campaign and to really just kind of hone in there and give me some ideas of what your tactics are, your implementation, and your evaluation in a draft form so I can give you some feedback. Week 4, you're going to take everything and put it together, put it into this nice, beautiful presentation, which we'll spend time next week discussing, so you don't need to worry about that yet. Other than that, that's it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at all. I will be away this weekend, but I will have access to my phone and internet where I will be. I hope you all take some time to relax and enjoy the summer as you get through this. The art of campaigns and developing this campaigns. This class is designed to be fun. It's designed to get in there and start putting some practical uses and a practical approach to this program. Some of the other classes get in there and get real lofty and are very deep thinking, and this one is just actually more practical. You're getting in there and you're developing your campaign and something that you would actually do, so you're having an opportunity to pull from some of your other classes and put some practice into your program. Other than that, I hope you all have a blessed week. If you have any questions, like I said, just feel free to contact me. Good night.